Hello. Today in Istanbul Bariatrics Clinic we have a special guest. He arrived from New York. This is Can with us. Can, welcome.
Thank you.
Can has been operated 40 months ago, sleeve gastrectomy, and today we will have a short chat about it. First of all, I would like to ask you to mention about your life before surgery.
Well, I mean, it was basically, in all sense of the word, it was hell on earth to live like that, because both in terms of health, also in terms of social life, it was really difficult, and there was a certain point that it started to affect my psychology negatively. It prevented me from doing the things that I like the most, which is hardworking, being active, and all sorts of things, and also socially, because I'm an extrovert, so I like interacting with people, and when you are at such a size, it's not very easy to fit in to the rest of society. And since I lived as a morbid obese for 20 years, it was really very, very difficult.
Can you mention us about the kilos, or in the same time in the pounds that you was before the surgery, your max?
Well, before the surgery, the maximum that I went up to was close to 154 kilograms, which I believe is over 300 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. That was the maximum that I went up to, and that was basically the point where the decision I made in order to have the surgery done, and then of course come to the checkups and so forth. But let's just say that 150 was my dead limit. Once I hit that point, then it was not a good path to go, and I'm sure by the way that I was eating, the way that I was living, if I had not taken the surgery, I probably would have been like 400 pounds right now.
How was the process about making decision? Do you remember those days?
I do very clearly. I've been, of course, communicating with Mehmet Ali and Ahmet before that decision about the prospective surgery, because they're surgeons that I really respect, even before knowing the bariatric surgeries they do. It was after a family gathering that we came together as a large family, friends and everybody, and I saw on one side very young and healthy members of the family with their kids, and they're all healthy and fit. On the other side, I saw people who were 40, 50 years old that were so sick because of their weight and because of their situation that they couldn't even put the food into their mouth with the fork. They were shaking and all that stuff. I went home. I cried for 3 hours, realizing how difficult this was. I turned to my mother. I said, time is passing quickly. And the same night, I was sleeping in bed, and I said to myself, I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm going to, do something about this. I emailed my job. I told them that I'm going to have a surgery, so don't expect me for at least 3 months. And then the next morning, I took the appointment. And 2 weeks after that evening, I had my surgery. What I want to say here is, the bottom line is, a lot of the people who are watching this are probably considering a surgery. Nobody can force you, if you're a morbid obese, to do the surgery. You yourself have to decide if you want to do it or not. My mother, my father, my family, my close friends, rejected dates, all these people have been telling me, you need to do something about this. But you become defiant. You have to decide for yourself, and the sooner you decide, the better it is to do a surgery. But it was a very, lightning from the sky when I made it.
And you mentioned about your healthy problems, and when we are thinking about those days, we can remember that you had the sugar intolerance.
Yes.
that that you have also. It was the starting of the serious health problems, that you were using drugs for that. You had the fatty liver, and you had the stones in your gallbladder. Even you was just 30 years old. Probably everything is gone.
Yes,
And you are completely recovered now. We checked everything. Today is, as I said, 40 months after that, so we had our regular check after 1 year control with you. So now, can you mention me about your new life?
My new life. Well, it's truly wonderful. If my previous life was hell on earth, now it's heaven on earth. Sometimes major events in human lives you can tell people, oh, this changed my life, this changed my life. This is exactly what this did to me. I like the way I see myself when I look at the mirror. I am not at conflict with myself. Before, I used to be in conflict with myself, which meant that I was in a conflict with the world. I'm much happier. I can wear what I want.
You can see you are very, very chic.
Yes, well, I'm just. It's like, you know, when it's like I'm sure that, you know, a lot of people, when they lose a couple of pounds, they like to put on a new shirt or a blouse or something. But in my case, it's like I gave up my old body, I got a new body, so I'm trying it now with all the different things. But if you do the surgery, one of the issues is that you have to change your closet all the time because you have to buy new clothes. But it's really nice. The first time I managed to buy normal human-sized clothes in a normal department store, I cried because it was so emotional that I managed to buy something that was for normal people. And I was a very active person before I gained weight. So now I'm starting to do the things that I used to enjoy. You know, skiing, water skiing, snow skiing, running, and I love hockey, so I play hockey. You know, everything that I wanted to do in the past, I can do now. And especially for fellow men who are planning to take the surgery, now when I walk around in the street, women do look at me. Previously, they did not. You get ignored when you're that large, but when you walk right now, women look at me. And first, I couldn't understand why they were looking at me. I said, there's something wrong with my face or something, but you become attractive. And yes, we're all talking about the beauty of the soul and the beauty of the inner beauty or whatever, but at the end of the day, this is a very materialistic and very, you know, imagery world. So once you have the surgery and you become your true handsome self, as a man, it improves your self-confidence and you become reborn, which is very important. And I think a lot of men have been, I mean, I can't speak for women, but a lot of men, I'm sure, are suffering from the social rejection. And, you know, now with the new body, you can be someone that, you know, people like when they look at you.
Great, great. I can imagine. And you are living in New York and working very hardly, but you still try, because you have to find the time to doing your sport and thinking about your nutrition, about your food. How is going your daily life?
Well, my daily life is based around, out of the 7 days of the week, 5 days of exercise, with gaps in the middle, not to force myself too much, because then again, your body is still recovering. I do follow the advice that's been given to me by Fatma and the people here about what kind of nutrition I should take. I always try to have as much as protein as I can, followed by vegetables and other things. I can't eat anything heavy, so those fast food days are gone. It's not going to work. If you try to eat it, your body's going to reject it, which is good. It's like the filter that everybody wants to have. What I generally do is that I start the day with one single boiled egg, and then I basically go on through the day, try to eat light but highly protein steaks or fish or anything that I believe is going to help my day through. During my exercises, I generally do weightlifting, deadlifting, push-ups and other stuff, because you have to maintain your muscle tone. you already lose weight, which means you don't have to do cardio, but you really need to do things that are in parallel with keeping your muscles, because you don't want your skin to sag and you don't want your body to feel like flaccid. You just want to make sure that it's, you streamline. And more importantly, above all this, which I think is a point that you guys also try to emphasize here all the time, everything is great in the first year or the second year, but then if you as the patient do not keep up with the rules and the regulations and the advice that's been given to you, the weight might come back. So you have to be very careful. You have to change the mindset. It doesn't work like, oh, I did the surgery and oh, everything is going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be great in the beginning, but just a few moments ago we met someone who had a surgery and gained all the weight back, and I honestly don't want to get back to that point in my life. I don't want to go back to hell. So right now what I'm doing is that even if I feel that my stomach can take more food, I stop. I say, yes, but this is very important. And the sports, of course, go along with that. To do sports all the time, to walk. I walk a lot, which is really good. I feel like one of those construction trucks where they have a big engine, but they have so much stone on their back. When they drop the stone, the truck goes so fast. Yeah. But I don't want to put more stones into the truck. So, sports and good nutrition, I have a balance. So
you actually mentioned about everything that is important for not regain the kilos and actually weight. And this is something that we are mentioned to all our patients. Like first year is honeymoon, where you are just very easily losing your weight. And after that, to not regain, the worldwide statistics said that there are the 4 points that you need to follow up. The first is nutrition. That should be mainly protein-based, that you are doing. Secondly, it's exercise, sport, that you need to put in your life. The third one is a psychology moment, that you also said that you changed everything in your mind, that you are like in mentality fit with new life. And fourth is to be close to your center, to your bariatric center you have been operated. So even it's thousands of kilometers between us, how you can explain our relations during these past 14 months?
I would say that, I think the reason why this center is probably the most successful in my book, and I have every reason to say so, is because the follow-up is very important. I mean, other centers or other places, they may, do the surgery and then just leave you be. But here, the dietitian, the person who basically takes your blood to check your vitals and statistics, my doctors, whom they always communicate with me. We talk from time to time, we email forth and back. The kind of care, also the psychological aspect is that, the resident psychiatrist here always tries to keep up with how your psychology is going, because it's like not only here, it's also here. I've been followed up very well. Then one of the reasons why I wanted to come back here all the way from New York is because I could have done the tests over there. I mean, I could have done a checkup there, but I wanted to come back here because I wanted to interact with the members of the staff to see what advice they would give me from this point on. It may be the honeymoon, but I want to make sure that I'm doing everything right. And especially after the surgery, during the first year after the surgery and in the continuing months, I've always been checked by email. I received messages. I was asked if I was doing okay. I shared my photographs on Instagram, and the official channel of the center always follow them up so they can also see the graphic change in my body. I'm absolutely, let me put it this way, it's better to be safe than sorry. And the way the surgery was done, the way things were done afterwards, it's very safe and it's very controlled, which I think in the matters of health are very important. So that's why I feel very lucky that I did it over here. I mean, I'm not trying to do a promotion or anything, but then again, when I look at the mirror and when I look at the end results of my surgery, that's how I feel, that I'm very lucky that I did it here.
Yes, we are also very lucky that you are a member of our family.
It's a family. I mean, I see you as a family.
Yeah, that's already, you are like 2 hours in our center today, having chats with the professors, with the psychologists, with the dietitian, with our coordination team, with laboratory and everything. So we were looking to see you very soon again, wherever you come from New York, and especially coming for this control. I'm wishing you good luck and not regain any single pound in your life, hopefully, that you always be healthy and happy in your life. Thank you very much, John.
And there's a proverb I want to say in Latin, which is basically something that I tattooed on my back a week after the surgery. It's called imperia est e imperia maximum, which means to control your own body is the ultimate power. So once you do it, you can overcome anything in life, and that's what I believe in. But thank you very much for the time.
Very nice words. I will remember that. Thank you very much, Jan.